Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're diving deep into a family of microcontrollers that has been making some serious waves in the maker world, the Seeed Studio XIAO family.
You've been there, right? You need a tiny brain for your next project, but you start looking and you're just hit with this wall of options. It's overwhelming. But what if you could learn just one system, one physical layout, and have it work for a dozen different projects?
Well, that is the exact problem the XIAO family is here to solve. It's an entire ecosystem built around a single, powerful, and unbelievably tiny footprint. Whether you need Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or just a simple controller, there's probably a XIAO for that, and they all play together beautifully. So to really get what makes this whole thing so special, let's start by looking at the DNA that all these boards share.
So what exactly makes a XIAO, well, a XIAO? Before we even look at the individual boards, we've got to understand the shared DNA that runs through this entire family. This is really their secret sauce.
Okay, the big idea here? Consistency. Every single XIAO board, and I don't care what processor is on it, shares these exact features. You get this tiny footprint, perfect for tight spaces, a modern USB-C port for power and programming, thank goodness, and identical power pins. This means you can design a project once and then just swap boards in and out without rewiring anything. They even have battery management built right in, which is fantastic for any portable project you can dream up.
And you'll notice they had these things called castellated pins. Now this is a seriously pro-level feature. It means you can either solder on some header pins to use it in a breadboard, or you can solder the entire XIAO board directly onto your own custom PCB, just like it's another chip. It is incredibly flexible.
All right, let's meet the first group in the family. I like to call these the workhorses. They're the general-purpose boards, designed for projects that don't need any wireless connectivity, but still need to pack a serious punch.
You know, this is all about picking the right tool for the job. Are you just getting started or maybe upgrading an old Arduino Uno project? The SAMD21 is your perfect entry point. Need a bit more horsepower for something like MicroPython? The RP2040 is a fantastic choice. And if you want to be right on the cutting edge, the new RP2350 keeps you compatible with the latest and greatest from Raspberry Pi.
And this right here brilliantly shows the power of something like the RP2040. Because it has two cores, it can literally do two things at the same time without breaking a sweat. You can have one core that's just dedicated to constantly reading sensor data, while the other core is completely focused on running a display or controlling motors. The two tasks won't interfere with each other, which is a huge advantage in more complex projects.
Okay, let's move on to the largest group in the family, and this is where things get really interesting, the wireless communicators. These are the boards you reach for when you need your project to talk to the internet, your phone, or other devices.
This is where the variety really just explodes. Need ultra-low power Bluetooth for a battery-powered sensor? The nRF528040 is your go-to. Need cheap and reliable Wi-Fi? The ESP32C3 is a classic. And if you're building for the future of the smart home, you have to look at the ESP32C6. It supports modern protocols like Wi-Fi 6 and Thread. And Thread is a big deal. It's this low-power mesh network that forms the backbone of the new universal smart home standard Matter. So yeah, this board is incredibly future-proof.
Now, you're going to see a pattern start to emerge here with these Sense boards. Take the excellent nRF528040. The Sense version is the exact same board, but Seeed has packed in more sensors, a microphone for audio input, and a 6-axis IMU to detect motion and orientation. This means you could build, for example, a tiny battery-powered device that wakes up when it hears a clap, or a smart wearable that tracks your movements.
They do the same thing with a super powerful ESP32-S3. The ESP32-S3 Sense board adds a camera and a microphone right on board, instantly turning this tiny microcontroller into a machine learning and vision powerhouse right out of the box.
Finally, we have the advanced and specialized boards. These are for those projects that have really specific demands, like extreme low power consumption or compatibility with the latest Arduino standards.
So here we have the RA4M1, which is software compatible with the new Arduino Uno R4. Then you've got the ultra-low power IoT specialists. Both of these support modern low-power IoT protocols like Thread, which allows them to run for months or even years on a small battery while being part of a reliable mesh network. This is absolutely perfect for creating a network of sensors all around your home or garden.
And just like we saw before, of course there's an MG24 Sense version that adds, yep, you guessed it, an onboard microphone and a 6-axis IMU for collecting even more data with a single tiny board.
Okay, so we've met all the individual family members, but the story doesn't end there. In fact, this is where the XIAO ecosystem really comes alive.
Because the true power of this family, the thing that makes it so much more than just a collection of small boards.
It's the world of accessories built around that universal footprint. Because every board shares that same physical layout, a whole universe of add-ons and expansion boards works with any XIAO you choose. And what a world it is. You can pop any XIAO into a Grove shield to get easy, solder-free connections to hundreds of sensors. Or you can plug it into the back of this round display to create a tiny, self-contained product. But I think my favorite is the expansion board. It gives you an OLED screen, a real-time clock, buttons, and an SD card slot, turning any XIAO into a complete data logging and interface device instantly.
And one last point that you just can't overstate. Hardware is nothing without good software and support. The source material for this explainer puts it perfectly. Seed Studio provides excellent documentation. This is a huge deal, and it truly sets them apart, making it so much easier to get your project up and running.
So, from simple controllers to AI-powered cameras to low-power IoT nodes, it's all built on one shared, easy-to-use platform. This unified ecosystem makes prototyping faster, easier, and way more powerful. The only question left is, what are you going to build with it?